the comparison, Colin, between Australia and the United States shouldn't be lost. I mean, we're talking before the break about the importance of standing up for Australianness. Donald Trump's been doing that now over the last 4 years. For many of the pundits, a surprise win, proved all the polls wrong. They have thrown absolutely everything at him. They've thrown sex scandals, they've thrown Russian interference, they've thrown Ukraine. Now they're throwing the niece. Mary Trump has decided that Uncle Donald says nasty things. I mean, on every front, Donald Trump is, I believe, and I don't care what anyone else says, if Donald Trump fails in November, then the Western world is in a great deal of peril because the alternate vote is just frightening.
Yeah, look, you're right, Gary. You know, when you show weakness up against major opposition, let's say Churchill against Hitler, you can't be weak. And Trump is what we need around the world right now. We need someone that's going to stand up to the way the Chinese wanted to do business. We need someone to stand up to the media who really have forgotten about the truth. They don't know how to report facts or figures anymore. It's all about opinions, which really mean nothing. You know, Trump is prepared to get manufacturing going in America. The Western world's been told manufacturing's got to go to China or, you know, Bangladesh or, you know, South America, whatever. And it's not the truth. We can go back to these things and we can make them successful. We've done it once before. The world's been through major problems in the past and you have to be strong. And I think that's the big thing here. You know, to hear Tony Abbott talk about the Australian way of life, what happens is there is a certain group of people, including elite people that originally came from parties like the Liberal Party, who have now run down our society and the wonderful, you know, the Australian way of life. And they've said, let's tear down our history. Let's tear down what made us so successful as a society. Such a great society that accepts all people. And look, you know, I've just listened to Bernie and Bronwyn just recently about what's going on and what needs to happen. It sounded like they were reading out the policies of One Nation Party. We have been talking about these things for about 20 years. And I know at times we haven't properly explained ourselves. And we may have said it in a harsh way. And we'll apologise for that. But the things are, we don't stand back from saying what we think needs to happen in Australia. And we're very proud to be Australian. And we need to get back to, not in an isolation way, but we need to make sure that when things like this virus come to Australia in the future, that we're ready for that. We haven't sold out to the Chinese or other countries our security, and, you know, we need to rely on ourselves. We need America as an ally. We need South Asian nations as an ally.
Well, we're happy to have the Chinese trade. It's the Communist Party officials in Beijing that leave me cold. But, I mean, Bernie, when I start to read Karl Rove's observations that the coronavirus actually helps Joe Biden, because what it's going to do is it's going to disengage the silent group of people in America who want to engage with Trump, who actually want to get out there and do things. It's keeping people at home. It's keeping people divided. It's this division of Western societies thing that's going on. It's awful to think that coronavirus could actually be voting Democrat in November.
Yeah, well, if the virus isn't voting Democrat, nobody is. Karl Rove, you've got to remember, has been wrong before. You know, he said that Hillary Clinton would be the President of the United States around about now, in fact. So he has been wrong before. But I agree with you 100%, Gary, that this election that the US faces this November is possibly the most important one, possibly since 1980. This is just so important that Donald Trump is re-elected. Because if the people behind Biden get control of the show, and I say behind Biden because let's face it,
what a mess.
Biden doesn't know. Biden barely knows what day it is. I mean, you know, what Trump is going to do to him come October when the debates are on, I fear to think. But if Biden happens to get across the line, the people that are controlling him, they're pulling the strings behind the scenes, what they're going to do is quite horrendous, because they are the people who are behind the BLM. They're the people who want to drag America down. And if America's dragged down, then Australia will be dragged down. And indeed, the Western world will be dragged down. Our freedom will be dragged down. And that's something that, quite frankly, horrifies me.
Well, it horrifies me too. I mean, Bronwyn, the point is that if the coronavirus shuts down the debates, that America may well have a presidential election without the kind of engagement between the candidates they've had in the past. That's the sort of the context that people are talking about. It does actually, well, it benefits the bloke who can't put three words together without knowing what day it is.